from Latin America, Africa and Southeast Asia. Multinationals, foundations and think tanks to make social and economic progress more sustainable and inclusive.
How's your life?
And what's important to you?
For almost 100 years, we've ranked countries according to their GDP.
It measures the economy, which is important, but so is quality of life.
So we're measuring the many things that improve people's quality of life. Housing,
jobs,
income,
community,
education,
environment, governance,
health,
life satisfaction,
safety,
and work-life balance.
By creating your Better Life Index, the OECD allows you to rank what's important to your life and see if your country is providing it.
You can compare your country with others, and because the Better Life Index is interactive, you can show what you need to make your life better.
Visit oecd.org/betterlifeindex.
Today, we know growth is not enough to guarantee development. The challenge of building sustainable and inclusive societies and the job of policymakers is getting more complex. At the OECD Development Centre, we help policymakers make better informed decisions. Like the OECD at large, we're dedicated to making better policies for better lives. What's different about us is that for over 50 years, the Centre has gathered 41 members, including both OECD countries and developing countries from across the globe to find solutions to today's development challenges. But let's rewind a little. What exactly is so complex about the challenges of today? One big change over the past 15 years is that developing countries have been growing faster than the so-called rich countries. Globally, there's been a shift in wealth. For many emerging and developing economies, this shift in wealth came with new opportunities, especially for the growing middle classes. But prosperity is also associated with rising expectations. Meanwhile, inequalities are on the rise. A young North African with a diploma has more difficulty finding a job than one with no formal education. A Latin American is more likely to belong to the middle classes, but is often only a hospital visit or a paycheck away from poverty. In Asia, jobs have been created in factories, but often at a high environmental cost. Gender equality is another challenge. Despite the adoption of laws to provide them with equal rights, women around the world remain at a disadvantage. No country in Africa or Latin America has yet been able to overcome the so-called middle-income trap, despite strong growth. And concern is growing that today's prosperity, ironically, may compromise social cohesion and growth potential tomorrow. At the OECD Development Centre, we monitor these changes and assess their impacts on increasingly interconnected countries and regions. How do we make development happen?
The dialogue between developed and developing countries has changed in the nature, and Development Center has this ability to reunite very different stakeholders.
Make sure that as we dialogue, we also move from dialogue to action.
It looked at the shifts in the global economy in a very innovative way.
By the analysis about the shifting source of growth and the distribution of wealth in the world economies.
We know there's not one model because not even all of our successful countries do it the same.
Crecimiento sin inclusión social no es suficiente, necesitamos inclusión y para ello el desarrollo productivo es esencial.
And we do that by building